Do you think that there's anything that you can do that wouldn't have a consequence? And if so, what sort of action would that be? For example, if you steal someone's purse when they're not looking, and nobody actually sees you do it, then does your stealing have any consequence? Do you think that you can get away with it? The Buddhist theory of karma addresses just these questions. Karma in Sanskrit and kamma in Pali literally mean action. And here we're talking about a theory that explains how actions produce effects. Now, there are many different types of effects. For example, throwing a ball off a cliff means that it will fall far below and land in the sea. Drinking too much alcohol results in your getting tipsy or drunk or even sick. These are physical effects, causes and effects that work on the physical level. Another type of consequence is environmental. So if you go out on a cold, windy day without wrapping up, you might catch a chill. And then there are genetic consequences as well. So if you plant a rice seed, it will give you a rice plant, not something else. And human beings give birth to human babies, not to baby elephants. So all these types of causes and effects are types or examples of causal laws, laws that determine what produces what. And a key principle of Buddhist thought is that everything in our everyday world is part of the process of cause and effect. In other words, there are no exceptions. And this causal theory is a very important feature of Buddhism. And it means that Buddhists don't believe in luck or in chance or in randomness of any kind. So you need to think about that. The theory of karma specifically concerns the moral consequences of actions. In Buddhism, morality depends primarily on intention, not on the action itself, and it's about whether you want to harm someone or help them. So, for example, you might think that helping an old lady cross the street is a good action, and stealing her shopping is a bad action. And Buddhists would broadly agree with that, but they would emphasize that the main criterion for deciding what is good and bad is intention. It's the power of the mind that determines the moral consequence of an action. There's no divine intervention, there's no fate, and no determinism. We can choose how we direct our mind. So reducing selfishness lessens suffering, while developing kindness increases happiness. And this is a natural law that applies to everyone, whether we believe in karma or not. Now, this is quite radical thinking. Why? Because it puts the ball in our court. We have some responsibility for what happens in our life and in the next. So finally, what form do moral consequences take? There are many possibilities. One that we can all relate to is that actions produce habits and tendencies. So if I steal once and get away with it, it'll be much easier to steal a second time and then a third and a fourth. And stealing will become a habit or a sort of propensity. It becomes a personality trait, if you like. And the same goes for lying, for being mean, even for killing. And yet Buddhists believe that even the worst karmic results can be purified through regret, confession, and changing our habits, changing our behaviour. So karma isn't all doom and gloom. We can use the laws of karma to create a better future. We can plant the seeds of joy. So ultimately, the Buddhist path takes us beyond the laws of karma altogether. It takes us beyond good and bad to the indescribable state of enlightenment.